Hi, Josh Allen, companion bread guy, hanging out at home again, looking for something really nice for dessert, and again, something to use up some day-old bread. Today we're going to make a companion affogato. So affogato means drowned in Italian. Generally speaking, it's just a little bit of ice cream with a shot of espresso poured over the top. We're going to kick it up a little bit and do some brown butter sweetened croutons with it. So the first thing I'm going to do is make a little bit of brown butter. So I've got 3 tablespoons of butter here. Just going to put it in a pan. Turn on medium heat, and I'm going to let that brown a little bit. We're going to brown and darken the milk solids that are in there. It's going to bring a nice little nutty flavor to these croutons and something really, really simple. So the rest of the preparation is pretty easy. I've got some torn bread here. So I took 4 pieces of day-old pain beaucaire, which is one of our more popular breads in the grocery store, a real simple French country bread. I'm going to just cut the crusts off, and you're certainly welcome to leave them on. They just are a little bit more tender when we have a chance to cut the crusts off. So cut the crust off, you can use up that little piece, and I'm just going to tear these. So we want to do some nice little pieces that are easy to eat, nothing too big. If you don't want to tear, you can certainly cut it. Any bread's going to work. A brioche would be a little bit more of a tender one. You could use day-old croissants or Danish or cinnamon rolls for this also, because it is going to be sweetened. It's just all going to go into a bowl. I'm going to set my bread aside. To that, we're going to add a ½ cup of sugar. We're going to add a teaspoon of cinnamon. And we're going to add a nice pinch of salt, so something to really highlight the flavors of that sugar a little bit. Check on my butter here, it's just kind of getting started. This recipe gets a little bit of a nod out to 2 folks for me. So Zoe Robinson at E. Fratellini, because my wife Melissa and I love to go into downtown Clayton and have dinner with Zoe there at E. Fratellini, which is a great place, and always for dessert we share an affogato. Seems to be a really nice end to a rustic meal. And then also Chad Robertson, who owns Tartine Bakery in San Francisco. These brown butter croutons are something that I saw him doing, and I think they were a perfect addition to this dish. So all we're doing is we're cooking these milk solids a little bit. You can kind of see right now that there's nice brown bits at the bottom of the pan. That's where a lot of the flavor and the nuttiness is going to come from. All we're going to do is we're going to add that right in here with our bread and sugar. Always remember to turn off our heat. Take a spoon. And we're just going to stir to combine. So we're just getting all the cinnamon mixed around and the sugar. We've got our melted brown butter, which is really nice. And then this you're going to lay out onto a baking pan with parchment. You always want to use a little bit of parchment on the baking pan here, because the sugar is going to caramelize a little bit, and you'll spend about a week cleaning off your pan if you haven't had a chance to put a little parchment on there. Foil you can do too, but it does tend to stick a little bit to foil if you don't have any parchment in the house. So that is really what you're going to look like at this point right here. They're going to darken really nicely in the oven once you have a chance to bake them off. I'm going to set those aside, and I'm going to show you what they look like when you get finished. So they caramelized a little bit. You've got the wonderful sugar, a little bit of cinnamon. You can hear the nice crunch. You can certainly snack on these all day with a cup of coffee, but we're going to put something really nice together. So I had a chance to run down to my favorite ice cream store here in St. Louis, Serendipity, talk to my friend Becky, who owns it, and I got some of the salty caramel ice cream, which is going to really pair nicely with everything that we're doing here. So the really easy preparation now. You've got your crunchy little sweetened croutons in the bottom of a nice glass or in the bottom of a bowl, as many as you'd like to do. A nice scoop of this salty caramel ice cream. Right there in the glass. And then I made a little bit of stovetop espresso, which I've got back here, still nice and warm. We're going to pour that right over the top, just to kind of soften the ice cream. Just a little bit of shot of that. As always in the house, I'm going to grab a spoon so I have a chance to taste it. You got the nice crunch of the crouton. You've got this delicious ice cream. Kind of get down in there and get a good bite. And wow, it's just a great way to end a meal. So my thanks again to Zoe at E. Fratellini and Chad in San Francisco, and this is Companion Affogato.